Hello everyone, welcome to our Enshrouded survival guide. We are making armor today, and in particular we are making the Rising Fighter armor set, which is a beginner tier armor set, and basically going to kind of go over how to make it and its stats, and maybe what perhaps that armor set is best for in terms of like a play style. So the Rising Fighter armor set is unlocked pretty early. All you got to do is rescue this guy right here. He actually unlocks two different armor types, the Rising Fighter set and the Fur Armor set. Fur armor is definitely the easiest one to get to, but if you can kind of like take your time, I would definitely say obviously the Rising Fighter set is going to give you a little bit more protection. And this is what it looks like. So we can see here your requirement is the blacksmith and he needs to be sheltered. Our guy is, and that basically means that there's a roof over his head. He's got some walls around him, that whole thing. So here he is, he's ready to go. So if you want to craft this, you'll need more or less like four main ingredients, resources: metal sheets, animal fur, resin, and then some of these require string. So we can talk about these real fast. String, very easy to get. You just need to make it from plant fiber basically, so very easy to grab that. Animal fur, a little bit more difficult, but I do have a video on how to get this in relatively easy supply, so refer to that. But basically there's an area around the Hunter Spire where you can find animal fur kind of laying around, but also dropped from like certain enemies. And obviously you can also get this from animals too if you like to hunt, so that is where you can kind of get animal fur. And the same thing with resin, you can also get this kind of in that same area. So I do recommend watching that video just to kind of see what area I'm talking about specifically, because you can get resin there as well. So Hunter's Spire, basically kind of search around for that. Now when it comes to metal sheets, this is another thing that gets unlocked with the blacksmith, like the recipe for this. And you actually make it here in the forge. There it is, metal sheets. And you can kind of see this is where the recipe for it is. And you'll need 2 charcoal and then metal scraps to make these. So how this kind of like works, obviously charcoal you are going to need to make in the charcoal kiln, and then metal scrap you can get out there in the world, and I have video on that too if you don't have a lot of that in supply, so refer to that on a relatively easy kind of area to gather metal scrap. So you kind of basically make what you need to make, gather what you need to gather, and then you will make this armor, which we're going to make this because you know what, not a bad idea to have some of this. So we'll just kind of go through and we'll make the different parts. Obviously there are 5 parts for each a body part here. And then we have, boom, just enough to make the boots. So we'll put this on, and I will show you what it looks like here. Gonna equip, and then there's boots somewhere here. So there we are. This is what it looks like. It's a little, rougher wear. We can definitely tell that somebody has perhaps worn this before us. But this is what it does. And now, if you're wondering, maybe why you should make this and who it's best for, it's definitely geared a little bit more towards like fighters than like the magic users, and I would say maybe rangers could use it. Anybody can use it really, but I do think it favors those who are melee fighters a little bit more, and that's just because of how all the different stats work. If I quickly go back to our friend here, we can see that these different armor pieces have different things that they offer. So if we kind of go over the total, what we're looking at for this guy, and we'll just stand here in the sun so you can admire the armor. The total, like the stats totals here, and I've counted them all out for you so you don't have to do the math. You'll get 103 physical resistance with this. You'll get 51 magical resistance. You'll also get 11% melee critical strike chance, so an increased basically strike chance for criticals. 83 base health, your health automatically increases by 83 while you're wearing all these pieces. 2% melee damage, so you hit a little bit harder, and then it also gives a +1 health regeneration. And you can actually see up at the top there, my health is increasing all on its own, so really not bad if you don't want to carry berries or health potions on you and you don't mind just kind of sitting around for a little bit while your health goes up. this armor can do that for you. It'll only go up by 1, but you know, I'm not wasting any potions or berries or anything like that, so that's pretty nice. So obviously I do think this is geared towards melee fighters with that 11% melee critical strike chance, and obviously the 2% melee damage as well. Now, like I said, doesn't mean you can't wear this if you primarily use magic. You absolutely can, but you might not be getting the most out of it. But that is basically the armor. It is definitely beginner tier, but like I said, if you're starting out, it might not be a bad idea to make this one if you're a melee fighter, or even if you're ranged. Even I would say. Just because it'll make those first few kind of days out in the world a little bit easier to survive. So that's about it. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I will see you in the next one. Until then, keep surviving and keep thriving.